This is the fourth video lecture series of home solar system design. In this video lecture, the topics to be covered are the solar panel efficiency, the area requirement of the solar panel, and the battery design. What is meant by the solar panel efficiency? The solar panel efficiency or the energy conversion efficiency of a solar panel is a measure of how much amount of the solar energy is converted into electrical energy. It is also known as the energy conversion factor of the solar panel. The energy conversion factor or solar panel efficiency is calculated as the conversion factor eta is equal to Pm by E into A into 100, where eta is the energy conversion factor, Pm is the maximum power output. The solar panel has to be rated in terms of the peak power or the maximum power, that is denoted by Pm. That is the maximum power output or peak power output of the solar panel. E is the solar energy insolation. It is in watts per square meter. The solar insolation is the amount of solar energy that strikes a square meter of Earth's surface in a single day. It is approximately 1/4 of the solar constants and its value is 342 watts per square meter. It indicates the total amount of solar radiation that strikes a square meter of the horizontal surface of the Earth in a single day. And A is the area of the solar panel in square meter. The different types of solar panels are available. The silicon based technologies and thin film technologies panels are available. For the different technologies have different range of efficiencies for the solar panel. The silicon based technologies, the efficiency is in the range of 15 to 80%. Thin film technology, the efficiency is somewhat less, that is in the range of 14 to 16%. The different manufacturers, solar panels are available in the market. The most of the solar panels available in the market as an efficiency is in the range of 15 to 20%. So some high quality solar panels are available, which has a maximum efficiency of 22%. Then what is the area requirement of the solar panel and how much area required for a producing that much of power? So the main drawback of the large amount of solar energy production is the large area requirement. So if you are using different efficiency panels, so consider if you are using a 15% efficiency panels, the 150 watt per square meter is the area requirement. That is, for a square meter of area, the maximum power production will be 150 watts. So if you are using 18% efficiency panel, the 180 watt per square meter, or for a square meter of area, the maximum power production will be 180 watts. This is the simple rule for calculating the solar panel area requirement. Consider the power requirement of a house as 1 kW or 1000 watts. And if you are using a 50% efficiency panel, the total solar panel area required will be 1 kW or 1000 by 150. That is 6.67 square meter is the area required for producing 1000 watt or 1 kilowatt of electrical energy. This is the simple rule for calculation of the solar panel area requirement. The next topic will be the battery design. The battery is a very important part in the home solar system design to store the charge. Battery is a tank of charge. It has to store charge and it delivers this charge whenever required. The unit of charge or the capacity of the battery will be measured in terms of ampere hour or milliampere hour. For bigger units, it will be Ah, or smaller, it will be milliampere hour or mAh. So if the ampere hour capacity is more, the more charge has to be stored in the battery. So another important parameter of the battery is the terminal voltage. The terminal voltage and ampere hour capacity are the two important design parameters for a battery. So normally the available batteries will be in the 12 volt. The batteries are connected in series to get higher voltages. So the ampere hour, the unit of charge, and the voltage rating are the important parameters for design of the battery, and these parameters are also important for selecting a battery for a particular application. And how you can calculate the energy stored in the battery? So we already discussed that two important parameters will be the terminal voltage V and the ampere hour capacity or charge capacity Ah. So if you will multiply the terminal voltage into ampere hour capacity V into H, so V into A into H, so V into A or voltage into current is the power and power into hour. So the watt hour or kWh is the energy stored in the battery. So if you can multiply the terminal voltage of the battery into ampere hour of the battery, you can get the amount of energy that has to be stored in a battery. So unit of energy will be watt hour or kWh. 1 kWh is the 1 unit. So if you are consider using a 12 volt battery with the charge capacity or ampere hour rating will be 100 Ah. So the energy stored in the battery will be 12 volt into 100 Ah or 1200 watt hour or 1.2 kWh, or we can say that the 1.2 units of energy has to be stored in the battery. So the energy stored in the battery is the multiplication of the terminal voltage into ampere hour capacity or charge capacity of the battery. So different technologies are available for the batteries. So there are two commonly used technologies. One is the lead acid battery and another one is the lithium ion battery. The name of the battery technology is based on the name of the material used. Which material it has to be used for the manufacture of the battery. Accordingly, it can be classified with the different types. The mainly used two types are the lead acid batteries and lithium ion batteries. A cell or a battery cell is the most basic unit of battery, similar to a solar cell. Solar cell is the important part of the solar panel. Similarly, a battery cell is the most basic unit of the battery, connecting a number of cells in series to get different voltages. Similarly, in the solar panel, the different solar cells are connected to get a solar module, and then it will be connected to get the solar panel and solar array. Similarly, the number of cells are connected in series to get different voltages in the case of a battery. So the lead acid batteries are normally used for the large application, also for the home solar system design. So in the home solar system design, the one of the main factor will be the storage of the energy that has to be produced in the daytime. That energy has to be stored in the battery and it has to be used for the evening or the night times for the consumers. So lead acid batteries are normally used for the large application and lithium ion batteries are used for the small application. So normally in the home solar system design, we are mostly used for the lead acid batteries. All the stored energy in the battery cannot be used. There is a one important factor that total energy stored in the battery cannot be used to produce the electrical energy. A percentage of energy has to be only used by the output devices, and that is known as the depth of discharge. The how much percent of energy taken out of a battery is specified by the depth of discharge. For the lead acid batteries, only 50% of the energy has to be taken out, and in the case of lithium ion batteries, it is approximately 80 to 90% of the energy has to be taken out. So it has to be specified by the depth of discharge. For lead acid batteries, it is very important that the lead acid batteries has to be only 50% of the energy stored can be used for producing the electrical output, or similarly in the lithium ion batteries only 80 to 90% of the stored energy has to be used. So we can go for a simple calculations. The actual requirement of the electricity will be 1.2 kWh or 1.2 units of energy will be required. So for if you are considering as a lead acid battery with only 50% of the depth of discharge, we have to store the double energy. Then only we can use the 50% of energy for the requirement of power production. So if the requirement will be 1.2 kWh, and if we are using the lead acid battery with the 50% of depth of discharge, we have to store approximately 2.4 kWh or 2.4 units of energy. Then only we can use 1.2 kWh for the energy production. Similarly, in the case of a lithium ion battery, we have to use 80 to 90% only. So accordingly, we have to store more energy for the requirement of energy production. Then another important term is the battery life. One important term is the depth of discharge of the battery. If the lead acid battery, it is only 50%, and lithium ion batteries, it is only 80 to 90%. Another important factor for the battery is the battery life. Battery life is specified in terms of the number of charge discharge cycles. The lead acid batteries have a 800 to 1500 cycles of battery life. Approximately it has to be used for 3 to 5 years. Lithium ion batteries are somewhat high, that is 1200 to 2500 cycles has to be used. Approximately 4 to 8 years is the battery life of lithium ion batteries. But the price of lithium ion battery is high compared to the lead acid batteries. For a simple comparison, the lead acid battery is approximately 7 to 8 rupees per watt hour. But in the case of lithium ion batteries, it will be 13 to 60 rupees per watt hour. This is the exercise for the end of this video lecture. So the design of the battery. So it is a simple exercise. You have to do this simple exercise. You can understand the design of the battery. So the first question will be: a lithium ion battery has a depth of discharge of 80% and the house requires 1500 watts of energy daily. Then how much energy should be stored in the lithium ion batteries? And in the second question, one house requires 2.5 kWh of energy storage and the rate of lead acid battery is 7.5 rupees per watt hour. Then what should be the total cost of the battery? You have to do these two exercises. You have to get the confidence for the design and selection of the rating of a battery. Thank you. Thank you for this.